Fish Rally, friends, and welcome to Casa Pirelli on the harbour front here in Monte Carlo. It's the end of day 2 of the Monte Carlo Rally, and what a fascinating day we have had. It was a day that perhaps held, David Evans, a fair amount of apprehension for our engineers, our drivers, and our teams.
Before we get started, Cole, could you just give us one more Casa Pirelli?
Casa Pirelli. I feel almost Italian. We've been in amongst the lovely, lovely people here at Casa Pirelli for the last 2 days, and I feel slightly Italian, David.
You don't look it.
He's so rude. He's so rude. Yeah, David.
Let's get back to the task at hand.
To this day, and this day that did hold a degree of apprehension. At the end of the day, 11 Rally 1 cars went out. Yes, only 10 returned, but that was because the driver, Adrian Formo. I'll tell you what we're going to do. Let's have a look at this from Adrian Formo. Yeah. It was a good day for the cars, apart from Formo. What happens here, David? It looks like a big crash. Talk it through. Tell us what happens.
Well, it is a big crash. If it was gymnastics, you'd probably give him a 9.9.
I'd have given him a 9.9.
But you know, you were blethering on about, is this something to do with the centre diff? You blethered a little bit today about, is it a centre diff? No. He was just too quick.
That was a question I saw raised. Is it to do with? They weren't saying really the centre diff, but they were saying the cars are handling differently, and we know they are. There's a bit more understeer. You're not getting the assistance. What that did show once again, and we've seen it ably demonstrated in the 3 or 4 big crashes we saw in testing. It once again shows how strong that safety cell is. The FIA have done a magnificent job with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And the same, with the hybrid. They've got everything is encased in this carbon fibre box. It's tremendous, for these impacts. It's absolutely great job.
So Formo, the only one who has a very big black mark against his name today, the man who's got, let's give him 1, 2, 3. I'm going to give him 5 gold stars. Sebastien Loeb, what a day! Sebastien Loeb, and if I give 5 gold stars to Sebastien Loeb, I give 10 gold stars to Mr. Wilson.
How many to Isabel Galmiche?
There aren't enough in the universe. Let's talk, because not only did Loeb have a magnificent day, Greensmith has had a great day,
fantastic.
Green's had a decent day.
Yeah. Is this what happens when you're on it with the car early and you're getting out and you're getting the development done? They've run through so many different scenarios with that car, probably more scenarios, definitely more testing scenarios than anybody else, any other team. It's hit the ground running like a puma. The one thing that we have to say as well is that from the outside, it all looks incredible, but they are still working. How many minutes sleep did they have last night?
Well, they didn't. They got very little sleep last night.
45 minutes.
It's massively. Monte Carlo Rally, is massively intense at the best of times.
Yeah.
When you introduce a new World Rally car, or a Rally 1 car as we're calling it, the intensity just increases tenfold.
To come from Dakar to do what he's done on the back of that and on the back of 2 days testing, 2 days proper testing, is astonishing, and it demonstrates he is still the most experienced and the driver who can come from any discipline, get back in it and get back on it. And I thought, Colin, I've got to say, I would give you half a gold star, because I thought your interview with Sebastien Loeb tonight was arguably one of your best ever. It was brilliant because he really opened up.
Where's my hat? I'm retiring now. See, folks, I'm off.
2 years ago when he left here, you and I were going to the airport saying, Loeb, finished. He's a shadow of his former self.
He lost it.
And he felt the same.
Well, let's hear that interview. David, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Let's hear that interview with Sebastien Loeb.
No, I didn't expect so much. But it was one thing that I always was thinking about. I didn't know why when I did my comeback with Citroën in the Catalonia and I won. The next year I finished the gravel leading the rally, and then I was slow like hell on tarmac, and I never understood how I can lose everything in 1 year, and now it seems I didn't lose everything, so I'm happy about that.
Do you know what, David, when I asked that question about 2 years ago in the Hyundai, I thought, how's he going to react to it? But he did react well to it, because, he said,
Yeah,
he questioned himself.
He totally questioned himself, and he, in a way, he had to, because that wasn't Sebastien Loeb. That wasn't the man that this is. This absolutely is, and these conditions have totally played into his hands. You know, the experience, the understanding of how the road evolves, how the road changes. You know, the frost comes at certain times, it goes. There was a lot of nonsense talked, you know, around the place about, oh, it's a dry rally.
The driest Monte Carlo
nonsense
ever.
That, you know, even on the way up to shakedown, we had numerous moments, didn't we, where it's just full ice. The road is completely
black
white.
Ice, white ice, -8
and this,
degrees out there.
this is a good link into Sebastien Ogier, who has struggled with his ice road cruise today. And that job, it is the most co-driving is for the most thankless task. Second has to be being a safety crew, because you can only get it wrong, can't you?
You can only get it wrong. And you know, Sebastien Ogier is an absolute perfectionist, and he's one of the most demanding of drivers out there. He sets the bar so high for himself, and if you want to work with Sebastien Ogier,
you've got to be right up there.
Now, let's see what Ogier had to say at the end of the day about his performance.
A couple of issues, I would say. One of those is that I probably with Simon, my gravel crew were a bit on the safe side, and the information I received from my gravel crew was very, very safe and slowed me down quite a lot on this frost section, which he described a bit more toward ice, and that can make big difference on such a rally. And I mean, we've been talking about it tonight and say, okay, tomorrow we do better. It's always a very difficult task for them, so I don't blame anybody. And at the same time, starting first was definitely not an advantage either. The sun was coming through and the road was getting faster, so especially for Seb Loeb starting half an hour behind us. But yeah, we've been a bit too cautious on that one, and for sure it's a shame that we lose so much time in there. And yeah, we'll see what we can do tonight to try to find some solution to be faster.
Yeah, so Ogier, not the perfect day for sure. He knows there's
but
an
he's
improvement to be made.
9.9 away. It's super close.
A great battle ahead. Elfyn Evans, really consistent day up until the final stage, David.
Yeah, and struggled a little bit. You know, didn't commit perhaps in the braking zones, but he's 11 or 12 behind. He is absolutely in the mix. You know, and it's a genuinely thrilling Monte.
We need to keep going. We need to keep doing our best. Obviously, there's a lot of new stages tomorrow still to go at, so we have to see what we can do. No trouble. Everything's run as it should, let's say. So yeah, I think congratulations is due to the team on that, really. You know, because it's a big task to get all these cars here, and to have them go through a day like this right from the off is impressive.
We go back now. We haven't really talked much about Thierry Neuville or Tanak in the Hyundais, because they've been strangely off the pace. Things have got better for them today. Neuville's in a little bit of no man's land.
I would say things have got less bad.
Less bad, I'd agree with that as well.
It's not got a lot better.
Tanak, well, he's under a bit of pressure from Craig Breen and potentially Gus Greensmith tomorrow.
Yeah.
What do you make of the Hyundai performance? It's not what we wanted to see.
Is this not, exactly what you could expect? Okay, M Sport 2017, not totally different, but different. To incorporate the level of technology and all of the changes with the chassis and the suspension and transmission. It's a big ask, and they're late. They're late, and they've got a heck of a lot of work to do. Their list of jobs to do after this event is growing and growing. It'll be huge, and I can see a position or a situation that we're well into the season before we see that car reaching anything like its absolute potential. But now we've got only not long left. Let's get straight on to Gus Greensmith.
Really happy. The first stage win was one of them things that I've kind of had as on my bucket list of things to achieve before I die, and I've done one of them now. So,
driver of the day. Who is your driver of the day? This is a difficult one because there's two right up there.
I want to give it to Gus Greensmith, but I think just the very fact that we're trying to decide if it's Sebastien Loeb or Gus Greensmith demonstrates just how far Gus has come.
Greensmith has been magnificent out there today. He's made massive strides forward.
Yeah.
He's had, it's fair to say, and Gus knows it himself, a lot of detractors in the past. But he's had a lot to deal with. We knew the situation at M Sport last year. We knew that 100%, nearly 100% of the focus was on this new car. Greensmith has shown us today what he potentially is capable of. It was a genuine stage win. It was a brilliant stage win.
Yeah.
And I think there are many more to come this year from
Absolutely.
Greensmith. Once Craig Breen finds his feet in that car, when we see Sebastien Loeb, perhaps on a more regular basis, who knows? Who knows, by the way? Maybe.
What did that face mean? That was a little bit weird.
Conspiratorial face. Yeah, a great day for M-Sport. Folks, it has been a wonderful...
And just before you go, if you want to know what Gus Greensmith's dad said in his text, in his WhatsApp, in his message to Gus, straight after that stage, have a look on dirtfish.com. We got the inside information. We'll let you know. It was a good message.
As he always did. Folks, we've enjoyed very much bringing you this first full day of the Rally 1 car era in the World Rally Championship. I think tomorrow could be very interesting. Don't forget, we go to Sisteron tomorrow. You won't see that on the itinerary. It's called something else, Thouard. Saint-Gervais. That is where the snow and ice is. That is where the big tyre choices will be made. The Pirelli boys and girls here at Pirelli Casa quite
back
relaxed
to Italy
this evening. Tomorrow they'll be working very hard to assess which of those tyres is the right one. Tomorrow is day 3. Join us on dirtfish.com for all the action as it unfolds.